I don't know about you guys, but it looks like it's about to rain. What's up, you guys? Chet Guthrie with What the Chet here, coming to you all with another fun, zany, crazy vlog. Something that I cannot do on the main channel. Well, actually, this What the Chet vlog I probably could do on my main channel, but just because I'm right in the middle of my third annual birthday road trip, I think this one's probably going to stick to my my third channel. And my third channel, well, this episode I should say, this vlog, it brings me back to my mom's house. You see, in my old bedroom, there is my bachelor's degree and my associates and other awards that I won throughout my college career. How you doing, dog? Honestly, Miley's got a lot of energy. But aside from the border collie and the black lab, Sally, you've seen Sally on my main channel before. She's gone on a few adventures with me. But I figure in this What the Chet vlog, I would also address something that has been a personal issue. I mean, it's not really a personal issue. It hasn't been one in about 2 years. But you know what? I figure it's time to talk about it. But before we talk about it, let me show you all my past college history. Yeah, as Plankton once said.
I went to college!
Let's go check it out. I think the last time that I've been in my old room, I think that was about about a month ago. But here it is, and ironically enough, my room smells, well, I should say my old room smells like an antique store. Go figure. But I figure we'll start out with the one that's in the far right. That is a piece of wood, third place Roleo award, and what that is Roleo was a wood chopping club event, anyway, where they would chop wood as a sport. They would also have like stuff like dendrology or other stuff like that. The group that I was part of, they really just cared about chopping wood. And speaking about chopping more wood, you also have number 2, that top middle one, when I was a part of the wood chopping club. And that number 2 is actually the only Timber Sports award that I ever got. And I placed second in knife throw. What that was is where you throw a knife into a big giant piece of wood from about 20-25 feet away. I think it was actually about 30. And anyway, long story short, as long as you got something in, you more than likely won. And that leads me to the one on the left. That was another wildlife thing that I won. I used to be pretty good at wildlife identification, but it has been a while since I really ever did anything like that. Now we're getting into the awards that I won while I was a part of the Wildlife Society. Now the Wildlife Society was a lot like the Wood Chopping Club, but it offered a lot more, and it was a lot more professional in what they did. Like this piece of wood right here, this actually came out of an old building that was a part of the forestry club at LSU, and that's what they made the awards out of. But anyway, non-manipulated photography. I won second place for an alligator photo I took. I mean, it was a really, really good photo. I mean, I don't know. Surprised it didn't take first. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. And then we have the first ever wildlife award that I ever won. And this is kind of why why I guess I'm called the Dream Poet. Is because originally I started writing poetry and short stories that I'd have published in my my community college's literary arts magazine. But anyway, the first conclave I ever went to, which was the major competition, I won second place in poetry. And I mean, that kind of set in stone that I did have a gift in writing. I emphasize did, because to this day, I don't know, I haven't really gotten anything like poetry related published in like a major magazine or anything like that. But I'm still trying though. In fact, I have 2 books that I've been working on. And now that leads to the other one that I won a while back. This is my 3rd place in landscape photography. I don't know, I'm really proud that it did as well as it did. Kind of came at a bad time when I did take the photo. One of the things that the Wildlife Society, or the chapter I was in, said that because I had completely switched over to journalism, I could not go to their conclave. And that was the conclave before the one that I won here. So anyway, I mean, surprisingly enough, the other chapters, like throughout the SEC conclave and other wildlife societies, they really don't care on what degree or major you have. And even speaking of that, I mean, I went for 2 degrees. My other one was forestry. Well, and again, I say, go figure. And now this one is probably my most favorite that I won while I was in college. And this was the first place in poetry. I mean, that was against 23 other campuses, and my poem won. And I'm glad that, you know, it was definitely a big upgrade from the first one versus the first time I went to conclave versus the second. I mean, I don't know. This one is probably the most favorite thing that I ever did. And that leads us to this big expensive piece of paper. This is my journalism degree. Funny enough, it's been like almost 6 years and I still have never gotten a job within journalism. Like my YouTube channels, I mean, that's proof that, you know, I'm putting this degree to use. Everything I learned at the communications campus. But other than that, I mean, the older I get, the more I kind of see like the types of people that work in the media field. They're kind of two-faced. I mean, I know it's not like that for everybody. I do have a few friends that are still in journalism, video production, but it's like the overall majority I have ever met in people in this field. They are always very conceited, very rude, and very arrogant. And I guess maybe that's why, maybe I am blessed that I have made my own way instead of having to, you know, work a job. And right under beneath here, that is my associate's degree from Cleveland State Community College. Yes, Cougar High as they call it. It took me about 4 years to get my my associates, which admittedly, I mean, that was kind of long, but back then, I mean, they really didn't care about what time or how you did graduate. Me, I mean, I do have a disability that I don't really talk about, and you know, if you're somebody that understands like types of mental disabilities, I mean, I guess you could say, I mean, it could either be ADHD or a very mild case of Asperger's. I don't really know. When I was a kid, they did the whole study thing and it came up inconclusive. But anyway, that's not the point. It took me 4 years to get my my degree, but it would have only taken me 4 years to get 2 bachelor's degree, and I'm about to tell you all about why I don't have a forestry degree. I mean, it's kind of a sad story. But while we're talking about that, I'll talk about this. Wildlife and Fisheries Society, communications representative. This is back when I was, at the Wildlife Society, their chapter, I had managed to go pretty far in the ranks. I was a communications representative. I made a lot of videos for them. I took a lot of photos. I mean, I did a lot. And, you know, for the time being, it was fun, but dealing with certain people, it wasn't But and there's an interesting story with this this sash that I'll talk about here in a minute. It is a very beautiful day out, although it is very overcast, overcasty. Still not sure what the word would be. I think it'd still be just overcast. But you guys, it's been about close to 6 years since I touched up on this subject. I think I may have mentioned it a couple of times on the main channel, but I don't know. I think it's time to talk about it. A lot of my followers here on well, my 3 channels, but really, in order to tell this story, we must go all the way back to March of 2018. And in March of 2018, I was about finished with my time at the University of Tennessee. It was imminent that I would pass and graduate with my journalism degree, and if things had played out the way that they should have, I would have had my my forestry degree at the end of the summer of 2018. But there was a class that I was struggling in. That class in particular, it is called measurements and sampling. It's it kind of deals with like finite stuff, kind of like, you know, imagine if you've got like 100 acres, and in that 100 acres you have to determine how many trees are there and how much money you can make off those trees, what's the grade of the trees, just so much stuff like that. I mean, it was all excuse me, it was all mathematics. And mathematics, it has never been my strong suit. But the field of forestry that I was going into at the time, it was wildland recreation, pretty much to be a park ranger, either working on the state level or the federal level. I really wouldn't have needed that class, measurements and samplings, because that's more of a forestry job, and I really didn't have much interest in that. But I was struggling with it. I was trying to figure it out. Had about a month and a half left of classes, and I went up to that professor and I asked him, hey, can I get tutoring? I'm really struggling in your class. I need your class to graduate. And there were about 20 different witnesses that heard him say, oh yeah, we'll get you through it, don't worry, I'll pass you, as his exact quoted words. And I was like, okay. And for about the next 6 weeks, I spent my time in his office taking every bit of tutoring that I could from he and his tutoring assistant. I mean, I practically lived in his office, and kept on working. I was getting it. I was gaining the knowledge that I needed. And to really note on something, he had this really weird grading system, and in this grading system you could defer certain grades or labs, and whatever you made on your final, that would be the changed grade to whatever your lab was. Well, me being me, I was like, and listening to his reassurance, I took it what I could. I deferred like 6 different labs and a midterm, and anyway, I was like, well, okay, well, let's do this. I studied my butt off, and then came the day of finals. This was the last real big class that I needed. I went, I took that final, and I did not hear anything grade-wise. Well, one day passes, and then another, and it's coming right up on the time that I will be walking. You know, walking across the stage, getting, you know, the mortarboard and everything. Well, all the paperwork had been put through. I had gotten my tassel, everything that I needed, and the pins in my sash, and I walked. And it would have been a really good day. But about 3 days after I walked with my forestry degree, 3, like in front of everyone, which I think there's even a legality in that, but I'm not too sure how that would work. This professor, his name was John Zobel, by the way. Very goofy name, very goofy person. Anyway, comes back, he has failed me. Well, I'm trying to figure out what I can do. So I go to the dean over the College of Agriculture. I tell her what's going on, and then she puts me in contact with this head advisor known as Brent Lamons. And anyway, Brent Lamons is a very arrogant individual. One of the things that happened, I really hadn't had a chance to respond to his email, and he had already gave me another he sent me like 2 angry emails thinking I wouldn't respond. So I responded. I sat down with him, and he really didn't give me a chance to talk about what had happened. He was really siding with John Zobel in the decision that he made, which I think really their main argument was that I already had a degree, but that still probably should not, or that still should not, that should still not dismiss me from what was going on. And anyway, that really broke me, made me really, really upset. I pretty much didn't do all that well with my summer classes, and anyway, for about the next 2 years, it did not sit well with me. Like, I was pretty heated and angry about it, and it did take me a while to get over it. I mean, it's been close, well, actually about 2.5 years of being over it. And probably another reason why maybe I haven't pursued it as much as I should with getting that degree is, like, the entire experience that I had at the University of Tennessee's Agriculture College. I forgot what its full name was, but it's like Herbert College of Agriculture or something like that. Anyway, long story short, they it was just like 90% of the people that I met there were just very, very rude, very, what's the word, they like to underhand people, demean people, or anybody that was, that was different compared to them. They're what I describe as very country folk, and I probably could go deeper into that, but I'm not going to. But I don't know, I thought, well, if I did get that degree and I did go into one of those fields, I'm pretty sure that I'd probably just get bullied and treated like garbage, like I did in my years at college, because people after that age, they don't change. And anyway, that's kind of made me, that's kind of what's made me make the decision that, I would like to go back and get the degree just to say that I have it, but I'm also conflicted in giving the University of Tennessee any more money. And anyway, I mean, UT has had a lot of issues, both in its football team, like behind the, behind closed doors, and actually the same way with UT's College of Agriculture. But it's been about 2.5 years since my heart has mended from all that. And I'll say, I mean, I'm really glad that I have you guys that do enjoy my videos. You know, it makes me feel good that I am using my my 3rd degree. But anyway, you guys, thought I'd just talk about that today. Anyway, you guys, thought I'd have this little conversation. Anyway, love y'all very much. Thank you all for staying posted and staying tuned. It always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care and that you like my videos. And I like going on these adventures. And it's fun to say that, you know, 6 years since that very horrible incident, I mean, I'm doing pretty good. I have 3 YouTube channels. 1 is monetized. I have a book currently that I'm fishing out to an agent. I'm really hoping that an agent takes it. That way it gets published to a big publishing house. And I have a 2nd book that actually I just finished the other day. And anyway, that one's going into self-publication. I'm just curious to see like how well it could do in a self-publication. I don't know. Anyway, love y'all very much. Peace out, guys.